Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we are looking at Factor Factory, which you can see here with Sleuth standing in some sort of factory. I'm not sure how I can actually represent that it's producing factors, but right now it just looks like farming products, grains, cans, tins, all sorts of things. Now, before we take a look at today's puzzle, though, I hope that for those of you that have attended, you enjoyed yesterday's live. I'll probably run a poll at some point and just figure out what's the right cadence for them because I enjoyed it. Is the right thing to do it weekly, monthly, but I certainly feel like it shouldn't be a one-off. And particular, thank you for those that sort of contributed during the live, Sam and John. Huge thank you for your generosity and your support of the channel. For all of you out there as well, you can continue to do so by just joining me on Patreon. There are more puzzles there as well. But enough of that. Let's take a look at today's puzzle. We have Factor Factory by Willpower. And it's an easier puzzle today. I'm conscious that we actually had quite a difficult set of puzzles last weekend. And, Willpower is being featured again, even though he's already got another two just this weekend past. What can I say? He's a prolific constructor, and there's so many still that are being produced by him on a regular basis. So thank you, Willpower, for all of these puzzles. But it did occur to me, and I should have mentioned that actually in the introduction before we look at today's puzzle, that there has been a bit of a trend on my part to keep introducing more and more difficult puzzles. And I can sort of understand now why, source of where I started all of this, cracking the cryptic, that over the years, the puzzles have been getting harder because if you're doing one every day, your definition of approachable definitely evolves over time. So to make sure that at least our start of the week is a little bit easier, I've had an agreement with, let me make sure I remember the name of the website. I don't want to sort of give credit to the wrong individuals. Excuse me, I should have actually prepared for that. Missing Deck Puzzles. That's the one. So the authors of this particular website and the constructors of all the puzzles there have kindly agreed for me featuring those puzzles. Now, they're essentially the minds behind the gas set of puzzles, so the generally accessible Sudoku puzzles, but it goes a little bit further. They have this concept of not even gas puzzles. There's like a whole bunch of brassia. I don't know if I'm even pronouncing that correctly. Think of that as, the likes of broccoli and cauliflower. Pre-gas is kind of their thinking of their description. But there's a whole bunch of different indigestion collections that they are talking about and Harper collections. I guess really taking the idea of gas to the limit. So look forward to more of these every Tuesday. That's the plan, to help us ease into a week. And maybe the harder puzzles, I'll make sure they're always reserved just for weekends. Well, I kind of talked enough about plans for the channel. Let's actually take a look at today's puzzle. So normal Sudoku rules applies. So that means the digits 1 to 9 in every row, in every column, and every 3x3 box. Pretty standard. Numbers on arrows sum to the numbers in the arrows circle/pill. Pill because I guess sometimes it's a 2-cell addition. So the obvious thing, for example, these 2 cells will add up to a single digit value that's present in this circle. However, these 2 cells are adding up to a 2-digit value that's going to be visible in this pill. Now the circles, does it mention anyway where it is? Essentially, the way to understand the pills, and I think, yeah, there are vertical ones, is you read them from left to right or top down. That's kind of the way to interpret these. Now, one more rule, which I think is really the thing that's going to help us to understand and unravel this puzzle. Circles/pills that touch one another are in a ratio of 2 to 1. Example, a 46 pill, let's say this pill was 46, can be next to a 23 pill, so this could be 23, or 92. So these two have to be in a 2-to-1 ratio because they are touching one another orthogonally. And I imagine that's really what's going to help us figure out what we are doing in today's puzzle. And lastly, let's see, it does say the lone pill is not part of a sequence, so that's this one, yep, because it's not touching anything. All the rest, though, however, are touching something. And then lastly, we've got numbers in a cage, sum to the number in the top left corner. We've got a 3 cage here, for example, made up of 2 cells, so we need 2 cells that add up to 3, 2 cells that add up to 9, and 2 cells that add up to 12. We've got a 10 cage as well. Well, that's a very lengthy introduction. As usual, if you want to play along, link will be in the description down below. You can visit this factory, you can extract the factors out of it yourself. And with that said, let me restart the clock and see how I get on. When I was explaining the rules, I spotted this 3 cage. This can only be 1 and 2. There's no other way of essentially completing that. Now, I'm also noticing a bunch of these 2-cell pills that have to be 2 digits. Now, the maximum I can make this is 9 and 8 to 17. So in these 2 pills, they have to have a 1 in the beginning. There's no other way I can actually get to 20, and clearly the 0 is not allowed under normal Sudoku rules. So these 2 are definitely 1, which is nice to have some digits in under a minute. Now, depending on what this value is, actually, let me think this through a little bit more. Let me do that with this one. It's actually going to be a little bit easier. So I've got 2 single digits. So this digit has to be double of that digit, and this has to be double of whatever this is. So my thinking is, this has to be a high digit, such as 6 or 8. Notice it's not 7 or 9 because that would be odd. And that would mean that somehow this is like, the only way to get to 7 here, this would be 3.5. So that's clearly a nonsense. This is now 3 or 4, ensuring that there is a 1 here. And it's either 1, 2 to make a 3 or 1, 3 to make a 4. This will be double that. This will be double that. This has to be either 12. And if it's 18 to double that, it will be 16. Sorry, I'm just pausing for a second thinking, yeah, this could be 8 and 16, surely. Well, let's just keep going. If this is 12, that would be 24, and I break the puzzle because it'll be 12 in here, as in the 2, and a 2 in the same row and in the same box. So this is clearly 16, 8, 4, not 2, 4, not 3, 4, there we go, and 32. Lovely. That's my dog getting exciting about somebody at the door. Apologies for that. 1, 6 in 2 cells. Only one way of doing that. This is 7 and 9. We don't actually know what this is, do we? This is either 2, 6 or 3, 5. Can't be 5 in a 10 cage, so that's not 5, that's not 3. If this is 2, that would be an 8. Can't be a 2, therefore this can't be a 6. If this is 3, this would be 7. If this is 6, this would be 4. That's not available. So that's 3, 7, 5, 9, 7. Lovely. Right. Same thinking applies here. I've noticed that 12 is not possible because the double would be 24. And I'm assuming this is the 1, by the way. I should have mentioned that from the beginning. That this is the 1, aside from the fact that it's 2 digits that are adding to it. This thing has to be a single digit that's a half of this one. So, This has to be a double, therefore it has to be even, 2, 4, 6, or 8. Now, same problem that we had here. If this is 12, this would be 24, repeating the 2 in the row. That can't be 2. If it's 14, it's 28. That seems viable. If it's 16, it's 32. That seems to be viable. If it's 18, that's 36. That seems to be viable. So this is now 7, 8, or 9. Unfortunately, all of which seem to be entirely viable. Let's keep thinking through this. So this is either, so it's 2 or 3. So it's either 28 available, 32 available, or 1836. The fact that there's so many 8s in here makes me wonder if that's, I mean, we know that this is totally fine. 8, 16, 32. 7, 14, 28 is fine as well. 9, 18, 36, also fine. What happens here? Let's think about that. 28 would be 56. So 7, 14, 28, 56, totally fine. 32 would be 64, but notice 64 would conflict with the 16. Because to get to 64, this has to be 32, this would have to be 16, this would have to be an 8. So we're repeating the 6. 6 is not an option, 8 is not an option, and 32 is not an option, so 64 is not available. Last option we have, which was the 36, would double up to 72, which I think is viable. No, it isn't. We've got a 1-2 pair here. There you go. That's a 6. That's a 5. That was a 7, wasn't it? 7, not... Yep, 14 and 28. 8. There we go. These have to be from 3 and 9. Nothing's broken yet. Oh, this 32, this has to be 64. This could have made this life a lot easier, given this is in a 2-to-1. Does it have to be? It doesn't have to be increasing. It could have been 1, 6. But we've got the 6 thankfully eliminating that option. So it's not back down to 16. It is indeed 6, 4. And yeah, given this is summing up 45 for sure, plus another 4 cells, it was never going to be under 45. Yep, so that's 6, 4. That's nearly all of them done, except this one, which is isolated. So we need to start thinking about a little bit of Sudoku now. We've got a 2, a 6. We know what these 3 cells are. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, and 9. No real conflicts, anywhere there. We should know some of these things. Do we? 2 and 6. We know that there is a 6 in here. No, we've got the 6 there. We know that there is a 6 here. In fact, we know that there is a 2 and 6 in here. There is one cell that is unknown, 1, 8. The 3 remaining options are 1, 4, and 8. And unfortunately, they could be any of them. So 1, 4, and 8, that's not an 8. Let's actually think about the 32. That may help. So 2, 6, and 7, that's 15. So these 3 cells are adding up to 17 to make up 32. This is already quite low, isn't it? 1 or 4. So 17, even if I maximize this, this needs to be up to 13. 7, 6 is not available. I guess 5, 8 would work. And if that's a 4, 9, 4 would not work. So one option is 5, 8, and 4 to make up 17. The other option would be a 1, That gets us to 16, and then we have to have 9 and 7, but we've got 7 in the row already. So this is in fact 4, and this has to be a 1, because we already got a 5, 8 pair in there. This was 2, 6, and 8. We know what this cell is. This has to be a 9. This is the rest of the remaining options in the row/box. This is 1, 3, and 4. That's not a 4. That's not a 1. That's anything. That's not a 2 either. That's not a 6. Right, let's do this. 45 plus 10, we're at 55. These two cells need to add up to 9. 4, 5 is not available. 6, 3 is not available. One option is 2, 7. And notice the 2 is here, so 2, 7. Or 1, 8. And again, notice the 1, 2 here. That's 1 and 8. So this can only be 2, 5, I believe. 1, 6 not available. 3, 4 is not available. This can only be 2, 5. We know the running order. This 5 is here. That's the 5. That's the 2. That's the 6. That's the 2. This is probably available for a while. I'm sure many of you were sort of screaming at the screen. 14 and 2 cells can only be 9, 5, not available. 6, 8 is available. This 9 can't be in here. So 9 is there. 7, more interestingly, can't be in there. It has to be here. This is now a 9 and 4. 4, 9 pair. Yeah. We know what these cells are now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Presumably 2 and 6. 3 and 5. So 4, 5 not available. I think the 9 is actually solvable now. 5, 4 is not available. 6, 3 is available. 2, 7 is not available. 1, 8 is not available. So this is a 3, 6. This 6 tells us the order. That's a 6. That's a 3. Lovely. That gives us the 5, the 3, the 2, the 6. That's a lot of options. The 2 here gives us the 1 and the 2. We can probably take a look at the 56 cage in a second. Yeah, because we only have one cell missing. So, what is that cell? So it's not 1, 2, 3. It could be 4. It's not 5. It's not 6. It could be 7 or 8. So if we sum up one, 4, 7, no, it's not 8. So we know that there is a 1. We have 2, 3. It could be 4. It's not 5. It could be, it's not 6. Could be 7. It's not 8. It could be 9. 1, 4, 7, 9. There's definitely a 9. And there's definitely a 1. So there's definitely 10 in here. 16, 21, 27, 30, 32 with 17, 42, 49, and to get to 56, I clearly need the 7, so this is the 4. 9, not 4, not 9. Yeah, so that's the 1, the 7, the 8, 9 helps us resolve these. Lovely. Have we got anything else that's resolved? Yes, I do. The 4 here gives me the 9 and the 4. I don't think there's anything else resolved at this point, but I probably can finish this. I've got, what do I need in here? 1, 2, 3, 4. I know it's in here. 7, I need 5 and 8, I believe. And have I got... No, I don't. I don't know what this pill is yet. That's a real shame. Yeah, I've got the 4 giving me the 8 and 5, though. So I'll take it. That's not an 8. That's not a 4. That's not 5 or 7. That's a 9. That is a 4. Just taking a look in case I've got anything here that's resolved. But no. But I can figure out what these are, probably. Except the fact that there is a 1, 2, and 7, 8 is not great. So 45, 55, this has to add up to 9. 1, 8 is fine. 7, actually, it is resolved. So this is 8 and 1. Therefore, 3, 1. Does this 8 give me something? Yes, it does. 6, 2, 8. This 1 gives me the 3, the 1. This helps me resolve a few things more. Yep, 9, 3. I can do probably a few more things now. 2, 3, I'm tempted to say. 2, 3. We have a loose 5, 7 plus 9. So it's 5, 7, 9. That's not helpful. 5, 7, 9. Definitely a 9. This is not a 5. And we have 5, 7 again, a loose 5, 7 obviously, plus the 6, I assume. So this is 5, 7, and 6 with a definite 6. And again, that's not a 5. So could we resolve this? Almost. Almost. We can probably guess whether this is 69 or 79. We may be able to do that if I can just finish a few more things. This 8 gives me this 5. So yeah, I'm fairly sure we can. What do we have in here? 1, 2, 3, 4. We need 5 and 8. No. 7 and 8. Not resolved. What about this way first? Yeah. 2, 5, I'm going to say. Which is more than enough. I should be able to actually figure this out now. We got a 1. What is that? Tempted to say it's 9. I actually know what these are. 2. I need a 3. It's in here. I need a 4. It's in there. So we've got 7, 8. I mean, the 9 removes a few options. That's a 9. That's a 5, 7 pair. 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. Right. Let's figure this out now. So 15, 25, 28. Let's do the easier one. So we've got 12 and 3, 15, 25, 30, 40, 40, 55. Haven't really got something easy, but you know, you've got 3 and 6, 3 and 4 for 7. I was at 55, and the 9, that was 7 and 9, 16, 55. I'm already at 61. Definitely not getting to 79. 61 to 69. I clearly did an error in math because that tells me that needs to be an 8. Let me just double check. 15, yep. 20, yep. 30, 40, 55. Surely when you add 55 and 16, that's 65 and 6, 71. I made a mistake the first time around. I'm still not adding. 10. I'm a little bit worried I made a mistake somewhere. 10. Another 15, 25. Another 15, 40, 50, 50. I'm missing this 3. 55, thank goodness. 55, 65, 69. This is clearly 79, but how am I getting to 79 from 69? I need to get to... I need a 10. Anyway, this is a 7. 5, 7, 5. I'm clearly not selecting all the right cells here. I'm missing something. 6, 8, 6, 8, 7. Looks good as far as I can tell. Excuse me, hold that thought. Yeah, 4, 8, 16, 15 and 12 and 17. Yeah, 15 and 17 is 32. 64, we've got 45, 55 and 9. 64, 7, yep, 25, 14, yep. 28, I haven't really ever checked this one. That was 16 plus 12. That is 28. That's 56 now. Pretty sure I did the maths on that to get to having a 4 down here, but let me check that anyway. So that's 10, 20, 30, 30, this is 12, 42, and 14. What? No, 42 and 14, yeah, 56. So that is 56, that's correct. Right, so everything's working except the 79, 10, 25, 25, 35, 35 I said, 35 and 15, 50, 60, 70, 79. Don't know where I was going wrong earlier with my arithmetics, but it's good. I'm happy with that. Yeah. I'm hoping you're a little bit better in maths than I am. But fabulous puzzle from Willpower. Aside from the fact that I'm struggling with simple arithmetics. Hope you're not struggling as much as I am. Hope you enjoyed today's video. And see you back tomorrow for a bunch of much easier puzzles than what we have been doing recently. Bye-bye for now.